Hi everybody, today I'm with Ari again. Do you want to say hello, Ari? Hi Ari, there he is, hello. And Ari's got a bit of sniffles, so refuah shalema. And we are going to read Beshalach, the summary of Beshalach. Wherever it is, here we are. Alright, you ready? Last week was Bo, which was when they actually finished the plagues and Paro told them to get out of Egypt. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so when the Israelites left Egypt, Hashem did not lead them to Canaan by the direct route, rather through the land of the Philistines, in case they encounter hostile armies there and come to regret their departure. Instead, the people journeyed in the opposite direction. That's a bit strange. Led by a pillar of cloud by day and a pillar of fire by... When was the pillar of fire, day or night?
By night.
By night, very good. Moshe did not forget to take the remains of Yosef with him, as Yosef had been promised. The Israelites had reached Etam on the edge of the wilderness when they were commanded to turn back and camp by the Red Sea. There Paro would pursue them, thinking they were trapped in the wilderness, but Hashem would again provide their salvation. As soon as the Jewish people had left, Paro regretted letting them go. He assembled his whole army, which consisted of many soldiers and chariots, and pursued the Israelites. The Egyptians were soon at the heels of the Israelites, who panicked and complained bitterly to Moshe. "It would have been much better for us to serve in Egypt than die here in the wilderness," they cried. But Moshe assured them that Hashem would once again fight for them. The guiding pillar of cloud moved to their rear, creating a veil of darkness that hindered the Egyptian advance. Moshe, at Hashem's bidding, stretched out his hand over
The
Red Sea.
Red Sea.
Very good, over the Red Sea. And a strong east wind blew, and what happened to the water?
It separated.
Very good. This enabled the Israelites to cross the sea on dry land. The Egyptians followed them into the seabed, but were thrown into confusion by Hashem. Their chariot wheels became stuck in the wet sand. Then Moshe stretched out his hand over the sea again, and the waters began to flow over the Egyptian army, drowning the Egyptians and their animals. And then what did we sing? What did we sing?
We sing
What song did Miriam lead everyone in singing?
Avadim
Was it Az
as
Yashir?
the shear.
Az Yashir. A song of triumph was sung by Moshe and the children of Israel, in which they praised Hashem's infinite power in destroying the enemy. He would guide Israel safely into Canaan, whose inhabitants were terror-stricken upon hearing of the Egyptian destruction. The Jewish march continued southwards through the wilderness of Shur to a place called Marah, bitterness, because of its bitter waters. The people, their mouths parched with thirst, murmured against Moshe. He and Hashem were shown a tree which, when thrown into the waters, made the water sweet. The Israelites refreshed themselves and then moved on to the oasis of Elim. Proceeding inland, they entered the wilderness of Sin 1 month after their departure from Egypt. So now we're a month after the departure from Egypt. Soon the lack of food made them wish that they died amid the luxuries of Egypt. Hashem made it known that he would cause bread to rain from the heavens for them, and would test whether they would obey his law. In the evening, migratory birds called quails came to the camp, and in this way the people were provided with meat. In the morning the ground was covered with mun, which had the taste of whatever its consumer desired. Ari, don't do that. The Israelites were commanded to gather do you know how much they were commanded to gather? An omer of man per person every day. But on the 6th day, how much did they gather? The same portion on the 6th day or more?
More.
How much? Do you remember how much more?
No.
A double portion was gathered to provide food for Shabbat as well, when no work was permitted. An omer of mum was placed in an earthenware pot kept before the ark in the Mishkan, which was a testimony to Hashem's kindness. At Rephidim, which lay further south, the people again quarrelled with Moshe, complaining of the lack of water. At Hashem's bidding, Moshe struck the rock on nearby Mount Horeb with the staff he had used in Egypt, and streams of water gushed forth, allowing the people to drink to their heart's content. The place where this miracle occurred was called Masa Merivah. The tribe of Amalek attacked the Israelites at Rephidim. The Israelites, led by Yehoshua, fought back. While the war raged, Moshe ascended to the top of the hill holding his staff. He was accompanied by Aharon and Hur. They supported... What did they support, Aaron and Hur? Do you remember?
No.
Well, every time his arms were up, the Jewish people were winning, and every time he let his arms go down, the Jewish people were losing. Have you ever heard of that before?
No.
Okay, don't pick your lip. It's not good for you. They supported his hands when he became tired, because Israel prevailed only when Moshe held up his hands praying to Hashem. The battle lasted until sunset, and Amalek was decisively defeated. Moshe was told to record this incident and press its occurrence upon Yeshua, who would lead the Israelites into Canaan. Because of their treachery in attacking Israel, the tribe of Amalek was to be totally destroyed and its memory eradicated. Did you enjoy that?
Yes.
So this week was not the Aseret HaDibrot. This week was the crossing
Of the Red Sea.
of the Red Sea. Very good.